Thank you for joining Wars of the Roses. And this is The Symbolism of the Rose by Nettie Claire Lewis. An article from Rosicrucian Digest, Volume 26, Number 3, April 1948. The Symbolism of the Rose by Nettie Claire Lewis. Reprinted by request from the American Rosicrucians, June 1917. One of the most perfect, exquisite thoughts our Creator has given us is the rose, the universal suffrage. The rose has been voted to be the loveliest among the children of the flora. We have but to remember that the rose is linked by the chain of association with 1,000 chapters in the history of our race. A native of the East, the rose is now universal, opening its petals to the sun of every clime. The ancients regarded the rose as the emblem of silence, love, joy, and secrecy. The sacredness of the rose has been felt and recognized in all ages, from the crude drawings on rocks and skins by our primitive ancestors to the immortal impressions of Dante and Raphael. The rose is the crystallization of all growth, unfoldment, evolution in the vegetable kingdom, the plan of life through eons and eons of time. Struggling, suffering, aspiring towards the perfection of grace, beauty, and fragrance of the flower kingdom. What does this inspiration and attainment of heavenliness symbolize? The rose is the symbol of man's soul in the progress of its growth, unfoldment, and evolution towards its creator. Each delicately tinted petal of the rose, in the layers of mystic perfume, is likened to the desires, longings, sufferings, aspirations of the human soul, through eons and eons of time, unfolding, grouping, growing towards the perfection of God's ideal. Man, like the rose, has a sacred power which permits him to discover the inner significances, the reality of invisible things. As the rose turns heart to the physical sun, so man turns his soul to the spiritual light of truth, which we may implore at the divine threshold, and which may suddenly come upon us in the midst of darkness and ignorance. All physical perfections come to an end, while the divine virtues are infinite. Those who are servants of the spiritual beauty are everlasting. The petals of the Rosicrucian rose have lengthened life, mitigated pain, extinguished diseases, increased the fertility of the soul, given new securities to the mariner, spanned great rivers and estuary with bridges of form unknown to our fathers, guided the thunderbolt innocuously from heaven to earth, lightened up the night with the splendor of the day, extended the range of human vision, multiplied the power of the human muscles, accelerated motion, annihilated distances, enabled man to descend to the depths of the sea, to soar into the air, to penetrate into the recesses of the earth, to traverse the land in cars which roll along without horses. These are but a part of the rose. For the Rosicrucian philosophy never rests, never attains, is never perfect. Its law is progress. Thus, each petal of the rose on the cross is symbolic of the oneness of the world of humanity, universal peace, universal tolerance, international consanguinity and solidarity, the establishment of the kingdom of God, first in the hearts of men, then upon the earth. The world of humanity is likened to God's rose garden, and the various races, tongues, and people are like his various flowers. The diversity of colors in the rose garden adds to the charm and beauty of the scene. Likewise, the variety of nations enhances unity and charm. Into each human heart God planted the seed of a spiritual rose. If we plant its roots deep in the soul of unselfishness, water it with the dew of purity, protect it from the blast of prejudice and bigotry, give it the sunshine of God's universal love, it will flourish and unfold into blossoms of heavenly beauty for all of God's children with the perfume of a divine civilization. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Roses. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.